I love that bass that kicks in.
Good morning. Welcome to the start of a 10. My name's Giles Mahoney. This is...
Yeah, I'm Phil Hawkins. Great to see you today.
And I'm Neil Casey, and really pleased to be with you this morning.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for tuning in. Those of you who are wherever you are today, I know someone's in hospital watching, so welcome.
Get well soon.
Yeah, get well soon. Yeah. And we're going to be doing quite a bit of thinking today about Remembrance Sunday. It's Remembrance Sunday. We're going to do a formal piece around that later in our church service. And we're also remembering some of the good things that have gone on in our lives. And we've got a question, I think, Neil, today, haven't we?
So. Yes, we do. And we want people to share their stories of when they've maybe lost a bit of confidence and somebody's come alongside them to help rebuild confidence. So, yeah, we'd love to hear what you've got to say about that. I'm sure guys here, we've got a few stories to tell, haven't we? So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, shall I lead off on that one? So I was thinking about this, and my dad, who I'm going to actually read one of his favourite poems later, actually, just before 11 o'clock. He was an older guy. He was an older dad because so he was retired when I was still at school. So I used to play rugby, and I had an injury with my eye, so I couldn't play rugby for a while. But he then encouraged me back to playing rugby once my injury got fixed. And he used to come to all my games and shout from the sidelines. Now that can be a good thing or not so good thing, but just remembering, how he just was so consistent with it. It was just really built my confidence when I had this injury and I was starting to find my feet again playing rugby. So that was a good one.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I've got
How
one.
About you? Yeah.
I've got one to share. I've decided that I want to learn how to play the ukulele.
Okay, it is currently, Neil.
Currently,
okay.
I want to learn how to play the ukulele, which some people might think, well, that's a bit crazy. I'm a big fella, and the ukulele is a very small instrument, and I have very big hands, and this might seem to be a little bit of a disadvantage if you want to play the ukulele, and I found that to myself, that it has been a little bit of a disadvantage. And I've been struggling a lot with chords and changing finger patterns and all of this sort of stuff. And it's kind of knocked my confidence a little bit. I got to a point where I thought I'm hitting a bit of a wall here. Now, my son is a musician. He plays the bass guitar, and I just said, can you listen to this? And he sort of screeched a little bit when he heard the horrible chords. And he said, Dad, you're pressing down on the strings too hard, and actually you might want to adjust your hand a little bit to so that your fingers are coming down on top of the strings rather than across the strings. So, why don't you give that a go? So I gave it a go, and I played the most beautiful G7 chord that I've heard. And just in that moment, I suddenly think, well, maybe I could actually play this instrument, and got a real sense of confidence back.
That's brilliant. So, yeah. That's a great story.
Fantastic. Well, for me, this is such a great opportunity to kind of give respect back for people that have encouraged me. And I want to be a cheeky and pick two. So first of all, want to bring up Pam Morton. Was my tutor at school.
Okay.
She was my tutor for 7 years. And when I was kind of year 8, year 9, going through a really, really rocky patch, massive lack of confidence, really, really shy kid, going bright red at every moment, she just persistently encouraged me, which was wonderful. And then really quickly, when we were in Brazil, at times where it was like, what on earth are we doing? Our pastor at the church there, Paulo Jr., he just had that. He's one of those guys that just had that word of encouragement right at the moment where you needed it the most. All right? So if you're listening at home, this is your opportunity.
Yep.
If you're watching on TV, get your phones out, get onto the YouTube channel, and send in any names of people that you think, yeah, they have really encouraged me in my life.
Yeah, no, that'd be great, wouldn't it? And just remembering those good stories to, as you say, Neil, you're going to talk in a few minutes after the song about, building our confidence up and how we can do that. And it's so difficult sometimes, isn't it, when you get into that situation? So to have these key people who do that is fantastic. So great. Well, thanks, guys. So Luke, we're going to turn to you now, and you've got a song called "We Will Run," I believe. Do you want to tell us a bit about why you've picked the song today and then take us into it?
Sure. So we are going to be singing "We Will Run," which is a song based on the last few verses in Isaiah 40, which is going to be our Bible passage in our service shortly. And really, it's just an encouragement and a prayer and holding on to that promise that God says that when we hope in him, when we trust in him, when we wait on him, he'll renew our strength. We'll run and not grow weary. We'll walk and not faint. So let's sing that together.
We will ride on wings like eagles. Oh, we'll never be the same. We will run and not get weary. War cannot be faint. We will ride on wings like eagles. Oh, we'll never be the same. For the everlasting love of the everlasting God, no, it will not shift or ever fade away. Oh, the everlasting love, oh, of the everlasting God, no, it will not shift or ever fade away. We will run and not get weary. War cannot be faint. We will ride on wings like eagles. Oh, we'll never be the same. For the everlasting love of the everlasting God, no, it will not shift or ever fade away. Oh, yeah, yes, the everlasting love of the everlasting God, no, it will not shift or ever fade away. Oh, and I will wait before the Lord, and I will trust in Him alone. And oh, and I will wait before the Lord, yeah. Oh, and I will trust in Him alone. And oh, and I will wait of the everlasting God. No, it will not shift or ever fade away. Oh, the everlasting love of the everlasting God. No, it will not shift or ever fade away. No, it will not shift or ever fade away.
It's one of my favourite bits of the Bible, actually, when I've been discouraged and had moments when I'm not believed in myself or had people. It's fantastic to know that God does that for us, doesn't it? Phil, have you had any updates online from people? Or?
Yeah. So, Adi, thanks ever so much for tuning in. And Adi's big encouragement in his life is a chap that we know called Rob Dickin, and Mel Commander. Mel, who now lives across in the Netherlands, have been his biggest encouragers. So, big shout out to Rob and Mel. Thank you for what you did and are doing in Adi's life.
That's brilliant. Great. So, Neil, we're going to turn to you now and do the high five.
It's the high five.
Great. Love that
intro.
introduction. Thank you very much. So yeah, it's the slot in our Starter for 10 when I get the opportunity to share just for 5 minutes about what I'm going to be talking about later on in our service here, which starts at 10:35. So looking forward to seeing you here in the building if you're able to make it. But for those who aren't, let me just give you a few kind of snippets of what I want to talk about this morning. And we're talking about loss of confidence. And I think for many of us, maybe our confidence has taken a little bit of a knock. We think about what we've been going through in terms of COVID-19 and the pandemic and our loss of freedoms and isolation. And maybe our confidence takes a bit of a knock when we look at what's going on in our world at the moment. You know, we've just had the conclusion of the COP26 discussions, and maybe they haven't lived up to quite the expectations that we've had. Or, you know, we look around us and we see, you know, crisis in Eastern Europe with refugee displacement and all of these sorts of things. And maybe our response to that is, well, it shouldn't be like this. You know, it really shouldn't be like this. And, you know, God, what are you doing? You seem very distant. You seem very remote. Actually, really, are you the God that you say you are? And as Christians, we're not immune from that. You know, we probably feel similarly. But actually, we can look to stories in the Bible which are similar or have parallels to our current situation, and see how the people who are in those situations dealt with the similar situations that we find ourselves in. And that's what we're going to be doing this morning. We're looking at a passage in the book of Isaiah, people who are in exile, just about to come out of exile, but it would be fair to say that they've lost confidence in God, and really looking at how God responds to that, how he helps rebuild their confidence, and in so doing opens up a doorway into their future, a future full of hope, a future full of promise. And that's something that we feel as Christians, that yes, our current circumstances may well be difficult, but God has done something amazing through sending Jesus into the world to actually create doorways of hope and to give us a future which is full of promise and full of blessings. And what he wants us to do in our kind of current circumstances is maybe to change our perspective a little bit, to actually start to understand who he really is, and to view him for who he really is, and allow that to cause confidence to rise in us, and to enable us to have hope and to look forward to a future that is full of blessing and is positive. So if that's whetted your appetite a little bit, do come along later this morning, and we'd love to see you here in the building.
Oh, that's brilliant. So what do you make of that, Phil? Thank you, Neil, for that.
Yeah, no, that was really good, Neil. Thank you. And you know, as you were talking about, you know, COP26, I've got to be honest, I've not been tremendously encouraged by all the kind of in-country fighting that's in jostling for position that's going on. It's like, come on, guys, can we get our act sorted out? But in the midst of that, also tying in with the encouragement thing, I've been really encouraged by Prince William, and you know, his highlighting of, you know, this is a really, really big thing, and the you know, the prize that they've just awarded, particularly looking at young people with creative solutions, and I just love that. But also, just what really struck me is that, as you said, Neil, you know, in the Bible, you know, we've got a story there of people that were pretty discouraged, pretty like, right, you know, when are things actually gonna turn a corner here? And that's one of the great things about the Bible, that, you know, it's written all those years ago, but it's totally relevant issues that we're all facing in our everyday. What about you, Charles?
Yeah, well, I was. Thanks, Neil, for that. And I've been particularly thinking a lot about remembering. And actually, I felt it really important to remember some of the amazing things that God has done in my life and my family's life, and to actually, you know, just recall those, because actually, like you were saying, when you've got into a place where things are difficult, circumstances are tricky, actually remembering that you've had some good things happen as well, and those can have that hope you were saying that can happen again, I find is really helpful. So I think later we're going to be encouraging people to remember some of their moments, aren't we, to build their confidence again in God and what he's done in the past. And it's so easy to forget, isn't it? You know, the simple things that, you know, people have healings. I've got friends who have healings, and one friend in particular, she said, I forgot, I forgot. But it was a really big deal. She actually got completely healed of a problem, and she just forgot about it 2, 3, 4 years later, because you live on, don't you? So that's been great, Neil. Really encouraged to hear that, and we could do some more.
And actually, we got some online
Great.
chatter going as
Feed
well.
it in.
Neil, people want to be encouraged by, maybe the next time you're on, bring your ukulele with you.
Well, yeah, we'll do that in 2027.
Right. All right. Barbara's saying, you know, Mel too has been a great encourager, and Jill and Caroline. Liz says, I've been encouraged in the last 2 weeks with meals arriving when I've been unwell. Commenting how lucky, the kids said. We're not lucky, we're loved. No. So our church family really encourages me. So that's fantastic,
great.
Isn't it?
That's really good. Brilliant. So I think we're drawing to the close of our Starter for 10. Thank you for joining us this day, and we really encourage you to, if you're able to join us, there's a Zoom of the service starting at 10:35, as Neil was saying. So that Zoom, the link to that is available on our Friday news email letter. And then if you're only able to get to us through YouTube, then Neil is going to be just after 11 o'clock. We're going to be starting the Neil's talk is going to be broadcast on YouTube. So do tune in then, and we look forward to speaking to you again in the coming weeks.
Awesome.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.